When would you say that you started going deep into this spiritual awakening journey? Was it during the accident you have, or was it prior, or is it later? Like when did it, or were there different stages that really like, whoa, what's happening to this world? What's happening to me?
Yeah, good question. I think for many people, we have a tendency to be quite, intellectual and trying to think, overthink, and overanalyze everything. And, as I went through life, I was, got several degrees in science and then a diploma in teaching. And so I was quite, as a researcher and as a physician, I'm very intellectual and look at data and analytical stuff. And then I realized that I was not really happy trying to analyze and everything and trying to separate everything and the way things go in the prefrontal cortex as you use that part of the brain. So I looked at my life and I realized that this is very interesting what's happening right now. And of course, then the universe does what I'm sure many of the listeners would have experienced as well, throws us a curveball. And so in 2005, I crashed a motorcycle, a 600cc racing motorcycle, and broke both my legs. And, growing up, I found my brother passed away in his bed when I was 5 years old. He died when he was a baby. My sister was born disabled. And, we grew up with not much resources. So we had some challenging times. When I then broke my legs and the doctor said, you may lose your legs because I got a staph infection, a hospital staph infection, I had this realization that I had been looking elsewhere outside of me for the answers that I seek. And far from being an esoteric conversation, this is what we do. This is what we see with our patients in the clinics. This is what we see with so many people in their lives, in the live events and the coaching that we teach. We forget that there is a field of intelligence inside of us, and that this field is not an abstract notion. This is a scientific fact. Max Planck won the Nobel Prize for this over 100 years ago. We're actually made up of 99.9% non-physical. That is 99.9% pure space. And so when we identify ourselves with our name and our position and our job and our title and the external circumstances, we're actually selling ourselves short. And so the broken legs and hospital infection had me relook at my life again, because the medical system put me together, but they also almost killed me, or it almost killed me. And of course, it's happening for me, not to me. As I'm a spirit and a soul, I see things from that expanded awareness. But it wasn't until I had to go through that, similar to you as well, Gary, when you had your dark night of the soul and the stuff. These are the awakening experiences. So in short, I went from being a primary healthcare physician, clinic owner, very analytical, to understanding that field within me, as Einstein said, can be seen in two ways. One is that nothing's a miracle, and two is that everything's a miracle. When I recognized that I'm a spirit and a soul having a human experience, and I'm here for a reason, here for a purpose, and that I have the power, the wisdom, and the beauty of the entire universe inside of myself, with humility, I can say, we all have this. And sometimes I think we forget that we are the heroes that we've been waiting for. I just looked within, started doing the work, had to start peeling back a lot of layers, a lot of layers of how I used to see this earth, how I used to see people as separate and things that are happening externally as separate, and understanding that I didn't have to continue to go without, I could start going within.